What is going on, everybody? Hello and welcome. Hope you've all been well. Hope you're doing good out there. In today's video, we got a pretty interesting one. I was a little confused by it because I thought initially we were checking out Lady Gaga's second album in my chronological order journey thing here. But apparently this is actually just an extension off of Lady Gaga's debut album, The Fame. Anyway, it's called The Fame Monster, and it incorporates 8 separate tracks that the community or the Little Monsters tell me is essentially considered its own special little album. So we're going to dive into that here today. Let's pull it up and let's get right on into it, shall we? All right, so the first one is called Bad Romance. I'm pretty sure we've all heard this one. I even know the title of this one. I mentioned it before, my knowledge of Lady Gaga is fairly limited, or at least was fairly limited. And this is just one of those tracks that was all over everything in the early 2000s or mid 2000s, I should say. But I've never really paid too much attention to it. It's always just been kind of a background thing for me. Never really thought of the lyrics, the sound design, any of that stuff. So we're going to do that here today. So without further ado, the first track is Bad Romance.
Gaga, ooh la la, what's your bad romance? Gaga, ooh la la, what's your
We'll get you this up.
I want you ugly, I want you disease, I want you everything as long as it's free. I want your love, 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 love. I want your love. I want your drama, the touch of your hair. I want your leather studded kiss in the sand. I want your love, 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 love. I want your love. You know that I want you, and you know that I need you. I want the bad romance. I want your love and I want your revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. I want your love and all your lovers' revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. Caught in a bad romance. Caught in a bad romance.
Look at the triplet there.
I want your horror, I want your design, 'cause you're a criminal as long as you're mine. I want your love, 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 love. I want your love. I want your psycho, your vertigo stick, while you admire a window, baby, is sick. I want your love, 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 love. I want your love, you know that I want you, and you know that I need you. I want the bad romance. I want your love and I want your revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. I want your love and all your lovers' revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. Caught in a bad romance. Caught in a bad romance. Gaga, ooh la la, what's your bad romance? Gaga, ooh la la, what's your bad romance? Walk, walk, fashion, baby, work it, move that bitch crazy. Walk, walk, fashion, baby, work it, move that
Okay.
bitch crazy. Walk, walk, fashion, baby, work it, move that bitch crazy. Walk, walk, passion, baby, work it. I'm a free bitch, baby. I want your love and I want your revenge. I want your love, I wanna be friends. Je veux ton amour et je veux ta revanche.
French?
Ton amour, I don't wanna be friends.
All right, there it is. Bad Romance. Like I mentioned before, obviously I've heard this song, but there was so much in this song that I completely just missed or just didn't even think about or whatever. First off, let's just go over some of the lyrical context of this. I think it's pretty much black and white through most of this. There are some interesting and clever metaphors kind of sprinkled throughout, vertical stick and everything, very sexual and all that stuff. What's interesting to me though is that she knows this person is not the right person for her. Like she knows it's going to be toxic as fuck and it's not going to go down well. But she still wants it anyway. She wants what's wrong for her. But she's still like kind of like fiending over it. Like she wants the violence to some degree, which is kind of odd. But it is what it is. But she at least is self-aware enough to know that like whatever situation that she wants for some reason, maybe maybe this is more of like a lust situation as to opposed to like a love situation, and romance is just thrown in there to kind of, I don't know, maybe just make things a little bit more confusing for you or whatever. It's a creative difference there or something. But very, very cool. I want your horror. I want your design. Like, yeah, she knows like this is going to be a car crash of a relationship or maybe just an encounter, maybe not a relationship if it's just more sexually driven, which it does kind of feel that way. This is probably one of the most Madonna-esque songs I've heard from Lady Gaga. I mean, she literally has like that Vogue moment when they're talking about working a bitch and she's a free bitch and like walk and all that stuff. I don't know exactly how to clarify exactly what that is as opposed to just a Madonna moment. But yeah, pretty wild, kind of cheeky, very fun, vocally incredibly expressive on this one. Almost cartoony in some of her approach and like her dialect and what feels like this interesting accent, and then switching up between the French language and English and everything too, which is a very cool way to do things and a very cool way to enunciate certain elements and add a different element of melody with just having different, ways of enunciating things. I think it's very cool, very interesting. Kind of classes it up a little bit. I don't know, just something about the French language just seems a little more classy than the English language, which, yeah, whatever. The song itself is pretty gritty though, man, right? I mean, this is just an absolute banger. Like, I can't wait to see this one live. I know she's going to do some crazy stuff. This is going to be over the top. I know this was one of her more popular songs just because I know of it, and it means it must have just been played in passing on the radio or something. But I can only imagine how she's going to bring this song to life live. So I cannot wait to see the live videos of this. After today's video of the album reaction, we're going to go into the era of this deluxe album where we can see some of this stuff live, see how it plays out, see her variations and renditions of these songs. I kind of hope she does like some classical versions of this. I kind of really like it when she strips things back and just is on the piano, and I feel like she could really just add new life into this with some interesting and creative twists. But yeah, man, I've always liked this song. This is one of those jams, like when it was on the radio or something, like I don't think I would immediately change the radio station. Like I would have just been like, no, it's pretty awesome. The screams in there as well, like, yeah, vocally it's cartoony at some points. It's very cabaret. She literally belts out and screams. Again, I really want to see that live. I want to see how she brings that like sexual frustration and angst energy to the live performance. And I know that she's going to, because she doesn't hold back for her live performances since the very beginning. She's interesting. She's like one of those creators, one of those artists that like I thought, all right, Lady Gaga will find her niche and she'll find her style, and like it'll take her years to develop and craft and everything, and then eventually we'll get to where we are right now, the mayhem era, and like that will be the culmination of years of work and practice and everything. But one of the most surprising things to me doing her journey in chronological order was just like she came out like a bat out of hell, man. Like she just came out swinging with some wild and wacky concepts and some really artistic renditions of her music that I was surprised to find so early in her career. Like if I knew about this when she first came out, when she first was on the scene, and someone just like showed me some of her performances and a handful of her songs, be like, now check this out. I know that I would have been an immediate fan for years. It's just for whatever reason I was sleeping on it. But yeah, great little jam there. Let's keep on keeping on and move on to the next one. Next one is Alejandro or something.
I know that we are young, and I know that you may love me, but I just can't be with you like this anymore.
Alejandro, there we go. This is already so cheesy 90s pop, and I don't mean that as like talking shit on it at all, because I'm a big fan of the cheese myself, but oh my god. It's it's almost cartoony. It's a little drop there.
She's got both hands in a pocket, and she won't look at you, won't look at you. She hides true love, superstition. She's got a halo around her finger, around you. You know that I love you, boy, hot like Mexico. Rejoice at this point, I've gotta choose nothing to lose. Don't call my name, don't call my name, Alejandro. I'm not your babe, I'm not your babe, Fernando. Don't wanna kiss, don't wanna touch, just smoke my cigarette and hush. Don't call my name, don't call my name, Roberto, Alejandro, 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 Stop, please, just let me go. Alejandro, just let me go. She's not broken, she's just a baby. But her boyfriend's like a dad, just like a dad. And all those flames that burn for him, now he's gonna firefight, God cool the bad. You know that I love you, boy, hot like Mexico. Rejoice at this point, I've gotta choose nothing to lose. Don't call my name, don't call my name, Alejandro. I'm not your babe, I'm not your babe, Fernando. Don't wanna kiss, don't wanna touch, just smoke my cigarette and hush. Don't call my name, don't call my name, Roberto, Alejandro, 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 Don't bother me, don't bother me, Alejandro. Don't call my name, don't call my name, bye Fernando. I'm not your babe, I'm not your babe, Alejandro. Don't wanna kiss, don't wanna touch, Fernando. Don't call my name, don't call my name, Alejandro. I'm not your babe, I'm not your babe, Fernando. Don't wanna kiss, don't wanna touch, just smoke my cigarette and hush. Don't call my name, don't call my name, Roberto, Alejandro, 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 Alejandro,
Alejandro. Okay, I was butchering that. So this one is different for sure. It's well, first off, sonically, this just feels like a spiritual successor to bands like Ace of Base and kind of like that over the top, chimey, over popped, kind of cheesy 90s pop bands. And again, I mean, no disrespect by saying that, because I love that shit. All right. It's a goddamn earworm. But it does. It feels like it's a variation of that song, Don't Turn Around. You know, it even has the sign lead and everything. So texturally and tonally, like, it's just sharing some similarities to just the tones that were used in that era of music, or that was trending in that era of music. So that was the first thing I've noticed. But I mean, sonically, this is a fairly straightforward and structurally a fairly straightforward song as well. So not too much to dive into that. we're sticking with a lot of the those darker and deeper vibrating bass tones that tend to not really have much or have a little bit too much decay to them. They kind of linger and last a little bit, which is an interesting stylistic choice, but you know, I appreciate it. Let's dive into the lyrics of this one because it's different. First off, we start with this little skit here. In some essences, this feels like a direct response to Bad Romance. Like in Bad Romance, she was like, fuck it, man. I don't care. Like, I'm here. I know you're toxic as fuck. I know this is going to end in flames and you're probably the worst thing in the world for me. But for some reason, I can't help but crave you. You know what I mean? It had that energy. This is like her being like, I got hurt from that guy, and now like there's 3 dudes in this song, and I don't want anything to do with them. I'm just gonna smoke my cigarette, be in my own little head here, and that's gonna be it. Where things get a little concerning is I feel like she's not talking about herself, or maybe she is. Maybe I just don't know the whole story of Lady Gaga, but she does take things to a degree of like almost a childlike innocence, and even in this skit up here, and calls not just somebody baby as in like, oh, that's my baby girl kind of, you know, loving, endearing way, but almost hinting at the fact that this might be an underage relationship. Let me see if I can find that exact line. Here it is. She's not broken. She's just a baby, but her boyfriend's like her dad, just like her dad. Now that can mean nothing. You know, it could be a metaphor for something else completely. But something about this just doesn't really sit right with me. She's not broken. She's a baby. Her boyfriend's like her dad. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels like a dude much older than a girl is dating a literal teenager, or what I consider a child. And there's something happening there. And she's kind of looking in and seeing it from a bird's eye point of view. Whether it's her own situation with dating like a much older man, or she's seeing something else, I don't know. But all I know in this song, the general vibe of it is that she wants to be left alone. And she's being approached by 3 different guys. You got Alejandro, Fernando, and Roberto. So I don't know exactly what's happening here, but this is the point where she seems to be kind of, in a sense, isolating from other people and maybe not craving the attention because maybe she was hurt from what Bad Romance was, and now she's in like the healing phase or something. I'm not exactly 100% sure. Overall, it's definitely an earworm. This is one of those songs I feel like it's going to be stuck in my head, and I'm just going to be humming that main melody over and over again. So this one's going to be hard to get out of my head, but as a song itself, I'm not sure how I feel about it. Let's keep on keeping on. Next one is just called Monster.
Don't call me Gaga. I've never seen one like that before. Don't look at me like that. You amaze me. He ate my heart. He ate my heart. He ate my heart. He ate. You amaze me.
It totally has like a European like techno pop feel to it, doesn't it? It's very retro, but doesn't it feel like, I don't know, retro European pop to me? Like, I don't know. That's the vibe I'm getting.
myself.
That boy is a monster. 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 That boy is a monster.
All right, Monster. All right, so we're moving on here to a relationship or an encounter that she's had that is actually even more devastating and has more consequences to it than the gentleman she was talking about in Bad Romance. Like in Bad Romance, she knew it was toxic. She knew exactly what he was. At least he was forthright with who he was and his intentions. The person she's talking about here is, as she explains, kind of a wolf in sheep's clothing. And it just like she kind of realized it, but she couldn't help herself from it. Like she still had these encounters with this dude, even though she knew that he may not exactly be what he was presenting. And not only did they have this ravenous experience, but he ate her brains, which I think is actually a telling line. Besides the fact of the song being called Monster and everything, I think it's more like that's Lady Gaga signifying that like not only did this guy take advantage of her physically, but there was some sort of mental manipulation happening here. And that's why he's a monster. And the guy in the first song, Bad Romance, that was just a bad romance. That was just a bad hookup. That was just like carnal lust. This was something else. And that's why this dude is an absolute monster. Sonically, it's fun. Yeah, it's definitely that cheesy factor's there, but that's just kind of who Lady Gaga is. And that's what she does sonically. But she makes up for it a lot of the time, too, if that's not your bag, which, like I said, it kind of is my bag. I like that cheese factor. But she makes up with it some really clever wordplay and also enunciations as well. Also, even paying homage to how she enunciates things in songs like Poker Face and like saying the ending phrases over and over again to carry the melody on and just add a couple more bars to that specific phrase. So very, very cool. It just adds like a different element and something that makes her art a little bit more hers. So like while she's paying homage and proper respect to artists that came before her, she's also putting her own twist on it melodically through vocals and adding her own special touch. And it's not a carbon copy of, you know, late 80s and early 90s pop songs. There are definitely some elements, but she also adds, or at least the production team also adds some elements that just make this a little bit different, a little bit more grimy, a little bit darker. Like we have the quintessential signed lead basses that were popular in the 90s. We have that Roland pronounced tom roll, the electronic drum tom roll thing that's just right there. You don't hear that enough in music anymore. In the 80s and 90s, that shit was everywhere. I remember I bought it off eBay years ago, my first electronic drum set. And the pads in this thing were the size of like a stop sign. And they were shaped like stop signs too. No give to them whatsoever. It was ridiculously overpriced too. I think I paid like $1,000 for it like 20 plus years ago. So, and it had like 3 pre-programmed sounds and they were basic 808 stuff, but I just really like that tom boom, 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 boom. Like I just thought that was cool. Not that you couldn't just do that with your DAW or keyboard or whatever, but that was a stupid purchase. Anyway, back to the review here. Kind of spitballing. I do appreciate that there's that kind of element to it, that there's that appreciation and focus on the area that she's trying to cover and like the specific sound design she's trying to pay homage to, with also adding her own, you know, featured elements by enunciating things and making the bar drag a little bit more, adding a different vocal melodic harmony to it. In some essences, like this almost felt even kind of R&B in its approach, as cheesy pop as it sounds. Like that layering on her voice with the monster coming up, like as it comes to what you consider a full chord. Because it gets layered from lower to higher and everything, it makes a chord from those notes. It feels a little bit more romantic to a degree, you know. So it gives it like kind of like that R&B flair to it. It doesn't drag out like you would linger a note in an R&B song. Instead, she does that like she does with Poker Face or whatever, which again is kind of like her own creative twist. Where you hear this, you're like, okay, like I hear a lot of things happening here, a lot of things that like feel comfortable, feel like home, feel familiar to me. But it's just these little lines here that you're like, okay, now this is just a Lady Gaga song. This is her interpretation of what this is. And as always, with pretty much everything on the Fame, the bass is really what speaks to me. In her, use of how she's has like this darker, grittier bass songs. It's been on everything from The Fame. It's been in all of this stuff as well. I do appreciate that we're not getting like that over the top 80s cheesy bass lines. She's just modernizing it with that sawtooth sound, which is very cool. But here's that thing I was talking about. Oh, and who's that dude? It sounds like Right Said Fred. It sounds like Right Said Fred. I don't know who it is. I'm picturing a massively jacked bald dude in a mesh shirt, you know, in black leather pants in the studio with Lady Gaga. I don't know. Regardless, another earworm, but that's to be expected. Let's keep on keeping on. Just when I think I've got the entire picture and I know exactly what she's doing stylistically and I can pinpoint the exact direction of her structure and sound design, we flip things up a little bit and we're moving on to what sounds like the beginning of a 80s blues rock tune.
I can't believe what you said to me last night. We were alone. You threw your hands up, baby. You gave up. You gave up. I can't believe how you looked at me with your James Dean glossy eyes, in your tight jeans with your long hair and your cigarette stained lies. Could we fix you if you broke? And is your punchline just a joke? I'll never talk again. Oh boy, you've left me speechless. You've left me speechless, so speechless. And I'll never love again. Oh boy, you've left me speechless. You've left me speechless, so speechless. I can't believe how you slurred at me with your half-wide broken jaw. You popped my heart seams, all my bubble dreams, bubble dreams. I can't believe how you looked at me with your Johnny Walker eyes. He's gonna get you, and after he's through, there's gonna be no love left to ride. And I know that it's complicated, but I'm a loser right now, so baby, raise a glass to mend all the broken hearts of all my wrecked up friends. I'll never talk again. Oh boy, you've left me speechless. You've left me speechless, so speechless. And I'll never love again. Oh friend, you've left me speechless. You've left me speechless, so speechless. And after all the drinks and bars that we've been to, would you give it all? Would I give it all up for you? And after all the boys and the girls that we've been through, would you give it all up? Could you give it all up if I promised, boy, to you? That I'll never talk again, and I'll never love again. I'll never write a song, won't even sing along. I'll never love
Talk about a sonic shift here. This is it doesn't even feel like it's part of the same album here. Yeah, very surprising. We have like this retro bluesy rock song with almost no synthetics to it at all. Even like the orchestrations, although they're done with synthetics, they're not shown that way. You know, they're meant to sound as real as possible. There's not supposed to be like that heavy sawtooth bass line or the sine lead or any of those electronics that we're used to hearing in some of her more dancey stuff. This is completely stripped away with just that raw piano, live drum kit, and guitar. Yeah, it almost feels like it doesn't even fit. Like this is kind of a bit of a shock. But I like that kind of stuff anyway. So this was fine with me. Now, subject matter here, this is a little bit, I mean, I think it's kind of black and white. I think there's so many context clues in this that we're probably all thinking the same thing. To me, if I had to like generalize what I think this song is about somebody that means a lot to her. And I think it's a friend or a loved one or something, and not necessarily a lover, just the way that she speaks about this person. And I think she's talking about somebody that may have gotten drunk and done something stupid. This person that she, likes a lot, whoever it may be, may possibly got into a car accident. That's why his jaw was wired shut. And I think he came close to death. I think, or maybe it's a girl, I don't know. I think whoever this is came close to death. And Lady Gaga was just kind of reeling with the fact that she might not ever see this person again. And she's like, if that happens, I'm going to lose such a big piece of myself where I don't know if I can write music anymore, if I can sing ever again, if I'll ever speak, if I'll ever truly love somebody, because it will be such a monumental loss to me. And vocally, she expressed that as well, not just with her lyrics as well. There's a real pain, there's a real disdain in her expression. And it's wildly done too. And it is soaring, and it is like very ballad-esque to it, but there's this underlying hint of sadness to all this where she's like, fuck, I almost lost it all. And like, I need you to realize that like, maybe you've given up on yourself, but like, I hold you to such a high accord that like, if I lose you, I lose everything. So please, you can't lose yourself because I'll be lost too. That's like the entire vibe that I'm getting from this. And I think it's revolving around drinking because they talk about bars, they talk about the glossy eye. She talks about Johnny Walker. They talk about going into bars together. So there's a lot of references, even rye they talk about. She references rye as like rye liquor. So I think there's a lot of like context clues as to like, maybe alcohol was taken a little too far. And, something bad happened where this person almost died and it left her literally speechless. It's funny doing these reactions because I try to wrap my head around like what's going on in the storyline and everything. And then a couple hours later when I post it, I get a comment from somebody that's like, it had nothing to do with any of that shit. Where'd you even think of that? So I get my answer like a couple hours later, and I either feel like a genius or I feel like a fucking idiot. So it'll be interesting to see what I feel like after the comments coming from this one. But I stand by my convictions. I think that's what it's about. Let's continue. And we're back to Lady Gaga. All right. Jesus. So that's just like a random, and I think that's almost even more, if the rest of the album is more synthetically produced, if it has more of like all those things that I've been talking about sonically that's been happening through most of her work, and that is like the only outlier of a track that's just organically presented, I think that might be even telling in itself too. So I'll wait till the rest of these songs play out, and then we'll swing back around and talk about Speechless again and see if that is even more of a clue as to the context of it. Anyway, this one's called Dance in the Dark. All right, a little 80s synthwave thing going on. All right. Again.
I'm a free bitch. Some girls won't dance to the beat of the track.
love this melody. And it's a fade out. Damn. Okay. I was wondering how they're going to wrap that one up. Okay. Definitely. This one leans a little bit more into the 80s. This reminds me of that song. Can't think of the title of it now. That Somebody Send Me an Angel song. I don't know. Maybe somebody can tell me what it is. I haven't heard it in a while. It goes, send me an angel. And it plays the same synth line. Or at least it has that arpeggiated melodic structure. Regardless, very, very 80s. The snare, though, has like that interesting kind of like peaking clap sound to it that is kind of 80s, but just sounds a little bit more aggressive. But yeah, very catchy little song, cool little riff there. The melody's awesome. But honestly, this might be one of like the saddest songs I've heard so far off of the Fame Monster. And that's even outside of Speechless. I think that was more personally tied to her. And I think in this song, she's talking more about more of a generalization of some women who have passed, some women who've been through some shit. It's interesting that she mentions I'm a free bitch again. Bring that free bitchin' thing, returning that theme there. So I wonder if it ties together and how it ties together. I'll look into that a little bit later. Surprisingly, so all right, so the saddest thing to me is like, it says baby likes to dance in the dark. So again, is she talking as this person as baby as because they're younger, or just like an endearing way of saying women? I don't think she's talking about women being younger by calling them baby in this one. I think this is more of an endearing thing, just because she's talking about what seems to be a wide range of all kinds of women that have been through some shit. But what's sad is like this collection of women like to dance in the walk because they feel like torn down if they're dancing in front of their man, like they're, or it's anybody really. Maybe it's their father, maybe it's their boyfriend, maybe it's it could be anybody, I suppose. Whoever it is, they feel bad expressing themselves. And dancing could also be a metaphor for anything else in life, like they look like a tramp and things like that. So she kind of talked a bit on that. So I think there's a lot of metaphors happening as to like baby could be a generalization of a lot of women. Dancing could be a generalization towards a lot of different activities, but they do it alone or they do it in silence or in isolation because doing it in front of the person they love or a loved one or whatever, it breaks them. And I think that's kind of the main takeaway. And she also references a lot of celebrities down here. Most notably, or most surprising to me, was John Benet Ramsey. Like, holy shit. The last thing I expected was a John Benet Ramsey reference in a Lady Gaga song. But I mean, I think that's very telling in itself. I mean, I don't know if you guys followed the John Benet case at all, or if you're interested in that, but it was a huge deal many, many years ago. God, but geez, it must have been like 20 some odd years ago. And if you don't know, I'll be very, very brief. Little girl, she was in like one of those beauty pageants, but she's like a little kid. You know how that's kind of creepy when you got a little kid in the beauty pageant, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Why? Like, I don't know. Anyway, she went missing. It's speculated that like her parents killed her, they got away with it, or they never found her body or never found the killer or whatever. But it's widely believed that her parents killed her for possibly some insurance money. And that's a broad generalization of that whole thing. Like, if you want to learn about John Benet, like there's a huge rabbit hole and conspiracy into that whole thing. But that's basically the case of it. But I mean, the nation essentially mourned this little girl, this child. And I mean, like, she must have been under 10. Like, she was a little girl. Everybody was following that case. Everybody's rooting for this little girl. And we never found her. And that makes me, so I think about like Dancing in the Dark and being judged for it. And like, I think of that, like that little girl, like being done up in like all these clothes, and like, did she want to do that? Like, what was the story behind that? Anyway, she talks about other people. Diana, fall apart, Diana, you're still in our hearts. Is she talking about Princess Diana? I don't know. Find Her Jesus, Find Her Kubrick. I like the fact that she referenced Jesus and Kubrick in the same sentence. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's kind of telling. It's like this dichotomy of art and religion right there. That's very neat. But yeah, kind of sad. So I think it's a collection of women that are falling apart by people that they love, and they do things in isolation because of it, and they can't properly express themselves because of it. Overall, it's a bit of a thinker, definitely a think piece. This is definitely one where, like, if you guys have any theories on this one, if you guys have any context to this one, I'd love to hear your thoughts, because I'm assuming the internet must have gone wild with this song. I mean, the thing about like dissecting Lady Gaga lyrics is like, she ropes you in thinking it's something so simple, like it's this linear story that you can truly just immediately grasp. And then every once in a while, she throws in like these weird angles, or like a different kind of context clue that might be talking about something else. Oh yeah, here too, Marilyn, Judy, and Sylvia. Like, yeah, it's a collection of girls. But yeah, so I thought this was pretty simple. And then by the time we get towards the end of the song, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Which is kind of cool, because you start off thinking it's one simple thing that you can follow, one basic concept. And by the time the song is over, you're like, holy shit, what the fuck was that? You know? But very well produced, very well structured, and cool song. This is one I definitely want to see live as well. It slaps. Let's see what's next. Telephone. How many more tracks do we have left? We got 3 more tracks left. Okay.
Hello, baby, you called, I can't hear a thing. I have got no service in the club, you say. What did you say? Oh, you're breaking up on me. Sorry, I cannot hear you, I'm kinda busy.
Like, the balls it takes to start off with like this beautiful atmospheric harp, and then like violently shift into something like that with like that lead bass and like the four on the floor, the dance break drums is what they call the patch. Like, it's such a wild contrast with almost no like crescendo to it. Like, you're begging people to lose immersion. You're begging people to step outside of like the immersion of it all. It's something like every artist tries to avoid. And this was just such a blatant thing, you know, because you want it to be cohesive. You want it to be like, I'm immersed in this content. I'm immersed in this sound design. I'm immersed in the beat, the melody, everything is like, put me in that place. Let me live there. And when you're violently ripped for that, like, it's done with such deliberate design. I'm just curious why. Let's listen to that again.
Hello, baby, you called, I can't hear a thing. I have got no service in the club, you say. What did you say? Oh, you're breaking up on me. Sorry, I cannot hear you. I'm kinda busy. Kinda busy. Sorry, I cannot hear you. I'm kinda busy. Just a second, it's my favorite song they're gonna play, and I cannot text you with that drink in my hand. You should've made some plans with me. You knew
Super low in the mix. It's still there though.
and now you won't stop calling me. I'm kinda busy. Stop calling, I don't wanna think anymore. Stop calling, I don't wanna talk anymore. Stop telephoning me.
Hold on. Beyonce's on this track? Okay. All right. I just noticed Beyonce's on this track. I'm taking it back just a little bit. What the fuck? What is happening in this one? I was just thinking like she's kind of like rapping right here. And then I heard that rap and I'm like, that's not Lady Gaga. And I looked down and it says Beyonce.
Sick and tired of my phone ringing. Sometimes I feel like I live in Grand Central Station. Tonight I'm not taking no calls cause I'll be dancing.
There it is. All right, let me take that back there. That is surprising. The song is called Telephone. I mean, how much of a flex is it to have Beyonce essentially doing a verse on your first album? I know this is technically considered the second album, but this is a deluxe version of her debut album, and having Beyonce on it is pretty wild. And come to think of it, didn't you just have like Marilyn Manson do like a guest vocal spot as well on her first album? So I have a feeling like she kind of came out swinging right away, and she got massive really fast. And I'm assuming artists probably just took notice of some of the more creative and interesting angles she was taking with music, and maybe just wanted a bit of a taste. But that's really cool. That's awesome. Beyonce doing a verse. Jeez. Okay, lyrically, I think it's pretty obvious what this one's about. I mean, she wants to escape. She's returning to church. You know, she's returning to her place where she feels comfortable and she can unplug from it all and just kind of be herself. Could it be a metaphor of how she expresses herself, and maybe she's becoming a little too big and she feels like there's too much attention on her and she needs to just get away and just kind of like spiritually release, and that is her dance there, possibly. I don't know. But to me, it just seems like she just wants to put her phone down, get away from it all, step away from the world, and just release, you know? And I think we all need to do that. And dancing is her way of doing it. Very cool, though. It's sonically, this one's a bit of an enigma. I mentioned in the beginning how jarring that harp thing was, and it wasn't until we got to possibly the ending of the first true verse of this song that I'm like, oh shit, wait a second, that harp is just really there. It's the entire, it plays that same melody through the entirety of the song. It's just super low in the mix. So like some piece of you still feels comfortable. It feels like home. It feels like you're back at that place. This will be an interesting one to see live as well. I want to see how she pulls this one off. This one could be fun. But yeah, cool little song. A lot of audio effects and stuff too. I also mentioned at the beginning of the song that it was a bit jarring how there was no, it kind of ripped you out of the immersion a little bit by just jumping from like that nice harp and clean vocals to something a little bit more aggressive. But there was a couple audio cues, like her voice stuttered a little bit. They had some a couple cues as well, but no real sweeping moment, no pads coming in, no reverse crescendo, nothing that led us to the dramatic impact of the first verse. You know, it was just such a, oh fuck, we're here. But the saving grace of it all was, even though we were in a completely different place, that piece of the beginning, that intro, that harp repeating motif was there, layered through the entirety of the song. Pretty cool though. Yeah, Telephone. Another earworm. I feel like this is going to be one of those jams that's going to get stuck in my head. Let's continue. So happy I could die.
I touch myself, can't get enough. And in the silence of the night, through all the tears and all the lies, I touch myself and it's alright. Just give in. Don't give up, baby. Open up your heart and your mind to me. Just know when that glass is empty, that the world is gonna burn. Yeah. Happy in the club with a bottle of red wine, smiles in our eyes 'cause we're having a good time. So happy I could die. Be your best friend, yeah, I love you forever. Up in the clouds, we were higher than ever. Hey, hey. So happy I could die, and it's alright. Hey, hey. Get high, get high. Hey, hey. Ah, ah, ah. Hey, hey. Get high, get high. Hey, hey. Ah, ah, ah. I am as vain as I allow. I do my hair, I gloss my eyes, I touch my
You gloss your eyes.
and when something falls out of place, I take my time, I put it back, I touch myself till I'm on track. Just give in. Don't give up, baby. Open up your heart and your mind to me. Just know when that glass is empty, that the world is gonna burn. Yeah. Happy in the club with a bottle of red wine, stars in our eyes 'cause we're having a good time. So happy I could die. Be your best
Okay, so in some ways, I feel like this could be an extension of Telephone because whereas in Telephone, it was really about talking about being suffocated and needing a release and to get away and to unplug and just get, step outside of yourself. This feels like the same kind of scenario to me. Like she's almost like in the same club right now dancing and she's moved on from bubbly to red wine. And now she's come to the realization that she's just super happy right here. And it's less suffocating. And it also feels like more of a celebration of self. Like, she's there and she continuously talks about touching herself and everything. And yeah, at first you could be like, oh, is this she talking about masturbating? Like, what is this? I don't think that's what it is. And she even mentions here, like, be your best friends. I'll love you forever. I think this is a song about loving yourself, being with friends and everything, but come to the realization that you might actually just be perfectly fine and be so happy just with yourself. So like after all these toxic relationships, all these situations, the men in wolf's clothing and like whatever jarring thing happened with like that rock song thing there, like she's come to the conclusion that like every once in a while she needs to step back. She needs to get in this isolation moment, avoid suffocation and appreciate and respect the fact that she loves herself. I could totally be wrong. She'd just be talking about going out, having a girls' night and like just being like, you know what? I'm fucking awesome. This is great. We're drinking red wine. I'm just out here dancing and everything's fine. But to me, it feels like there is some sort of like symmetry or there is some sort of like linear thing happening between So Happy I Could Die and Telephone. Possibly not, but I mean, I tend to overanalyze these things and try and get to the bottom of them. And to me, honestly, that's what this really feels like. And sonically, it's very lush. There's a lot of cool layering and everything going on, but not too much happening. A very formulaic structure and sound design set up here from what we've experienced in the past. But yeah, cool little jam for sure. Let's see how this whole thing all wraps up. We got one track left. What's the last one called? Teeth. Okay. All right. Teeth.
Don't be scared. I've done this before. Show me your teeth. Show me your teeth.
All right, we're gonna get some kind of weird Southern gospel thing here. Southern rock gospel dance. Ugh. Her music is so off the fucking wall. You truly have no idea what you're into next. I need to hear that intro again. This is gonna be good. I already know I'm gonna love this song. I just know it.
Don't be scared. I've done this before. Show me your teeth. Show me your teeth. Show me your teeth.
Don't want no money.
That shit's ugly.
Just want your sex. Take a bite of my bad girl meat.
Take a bite of me.
Show me your teeth.
Let me see your mean.
Got no direction.
Oh, the horn.
Just got my vamp. Take a bite of my bad girl meat.
Take a bite of me, boy.
Show me your teeth.
The truth is sexy.
Tell me something that'll save me. I need a man who makes me alright.
Just tell me when it's alright.
Tell me something that'll change me. I'm gonna love you with my hands tied. Show me your teeth.
Just tell me when.
Show me your teeth.
Open your mouth, boy.
Show me your teeth.
Show me what you got.
Show me your teeth. Teeth. Got no salvation.
No salvation. Got no salvation.
Got no religion.
My religion is you.
Take a bite of my bad girl meat.
Take a bite of me, boy.
Show me your teeth.
I'm a tough bitch.
Got my addictions. Now I love to fix them.
No one's perfect.
Take a bite of my bad girl meat.
But I'm not a bad
Show me your teeth.
woman. I just need a little guidance.
Tell me something that'll save me. I need a man who makes me alright.
Just tell me when it's alright.
Tell me something that'll change me. I'm gonna love you with my hands tied. Show me your teeth.
Just tell me when.
Show me your teeth.
Open your mouth, boy.
Show me your teeth.
Show me what you got. Open your mouth, boy.
Show me your teeth.
Show me what you got.
Show me your teeth, the teeth, the teeth. Show me your teeth.
It's not how big, it's how mean.
Oh,
It's not how big,
oh.
it's how mean.
Show me your teeth. Show me your teeth. Show me your teeth. Show me your teeth. Show
Open
me
your
your
mouth,
teeth.
boy.
Show me your teeth. Show
Never
me
listen
your
to
teeth.
you.
The teeth, the teeth. Show me your teeth.
Just
Show
need a
me
little
your
guidance.
teeth. Show me your 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 teeth. The teeth, the teeth, the teeth.
Okay, that was interesting. A little unexpected. Definitely a bit of a vibe shift there. If you guys ever seen that show, I used to love it. I might be aging myself here a bit, but there was a show, I think it was on HBO, maybe it was Showtime, years ago called True Blood. It was about like vampires and it was like very sexually charged, and I fucking loved that show. That was like one of my favorite shows at the time. Great show. Check out True Blood if you haven't seen it. Really cool. But I feel like this would be like the soundtrack to that show. But in reality, it just sounds like Lady Gaga is giving into some primal and carnal urges here, and involved in some sort of like BSDM, I think is how you say it, scenario where like somebody's like kind of dominating her and she's almost like begging for it. She's like, all right, show it to me. Give me something new. Give me something raw. Show me something I haven't seen before. Say something that's going to change me. So almost like it's in cycle format. If we were to think of this as like one album, you know, whereas Bad Romance, she's embracing this toxic thing. It ending with Teeth, it's like the same idea. She's also embracing this carnal urge as well. But I mean, for 8 bonus tracks, I can definitely see why people consider this to be its own thing as to opposed to just an extension off of her debut album. I mean, first off, you have Bad Romance in this. All right. That was a massive song. That song was everywhere. Like that might be, I mean, I'm assuming that's got to be like in her top 3 or 4 songs she's ever released ever. And it was just a bonus track. Like that was just a massive song. So I can see that being an outlier and that being something that like would distinguish this as more than just like a bonus edition or like, you know, the B-sides of an album. But Bad Romance, definitely I loved. That was awesome. Alejandro, I mean, that melody is going to get stuck in my head for a long time. Monster, one of the more telling tracks. I mean, I don't know who on Monster hurt her, but somebody fucked her up and she's like fucking angry. Speechless, one of the saddest songs on the track. I think that's one of her more vulnerable ones, one of the ones where she's talking more about her own specific personal experience. She can be vague with a lot of her music to try and make it seem or make people enjoy it or take something from it, you know, make it not just her art, but the art that you're also hearing and living and immersed in and pull your own experiences from. Speechless feels like a song that's deeply personal and she's talking about a very specific scenario. Dance in the Dark, another sad one. Yeah, that 4/5 track line there. I think there's more to that track than I'm even talking about. I'm gonna have to go back and look into that and see what the fuck is going on because that is one of the more disturbing songs. And I also think that's a song where she seems to be talking a lot about like social commentary and like the space of a woman and what they go through sometimes. And it's interesting to learn. It's interesting to create content in a way, being a man and like putting myself in scenarios of listening to music that I normally wouldn't listen to, that wouldn't normally be my bag. Because I get the female experience sometimes, you know, by reacting to pop music or like whatever, because a lot of times the people that just listen to that music, they tend to, you know, be female. And I hear about all these experiences and all of like the different like ways that they experience life and how it's different than how I experience. And just like the dramatic shift you just never think about being a member of the opposite sex. I mean, like, oh shit, like that's a real fucking concern. Like that's something that happens. And like, I don't know, that's a different video for a different time. Cause I mean, I've learned a lot over the last couple of years of doing this, not only just from my female friends, because a lot of times I'll bring up those issues that I've learned talking to people. I'm like, hey, I got this comment or somebody said this thing to me. It's like, is that something that happens? Like, and then like, they'll say to me, like my real friends in life that are female, they'll be like, yeah, but they look like disappointed by it. They're like, yeah, that's something that happens a lot, you know? And like, you can just tell, like, it just beats the fuck out of them. And it's like, it's just something they've been wearing and dealing with since they were a child, which is really fucking ugly. Anyway, back on topic here. Telephone. Surprisingly, we got fucking Beyonce on this. That is crazy. Cool, catchy little jam. Great chorus, great hook to it. The rap aspect of it, very, very cool. So Happy I Could Die. Again, I feel like that is an extension, and it is leaning into a more positive effect of her loving herself and being okay with being alone and understanding that being in the spotlight and being, well, this monster, you know, that she refers to herself as sometimes, and this, you know, this person that's craving attention, the spotlight and everything, comes with its own aspects that can be suffocating and not the most healthy things in the world for her. She understands that, like, she needs some toxicity to her life. She needs some drama. She needs some sort of edge to keep things interesting in a certain momentum in her life. But it seems like where she's talking about So Happy I Could Die, she's learning to, like, embrace herself and try to seek out that toxic thing that she's looking for. And then that's where it ends with Teeth. You know, that is that toxic thing. She's like, well, you know what? I'm not going to get myself wrapped up in these relationships that are fake, like the guy in Monster. I'm going to get myself involved in some real carnal and primal situations that, like, that's the edge I need. That's like not the disdain, but like that itch that needs to be scratched within me. So I think even though it's only 8 tracks, it's very telling in itself. I think it's a great extension of just the original album, which was already 15 tracks. So, I mean, she came out with a swing, you know, she came out swinging. And I mean, I think she not only, you know, aimed for the fences, she got some home runs on this one. I mean, there's so many bangers. I mean, right out of the gate, I mean, Just Dance, Paparazzi, Bad Romance, like hit after fucking hit over and over and over again. And there's so much experimentation that's happening in this album as a whole anyway, that, like, I think that's the reason why she got so many artists to kind of work with her, like Marilyn Manson and Beyonce and everything, because people that have been involved in this space for a while, you start to see trends and formulas in music, and you're like, okay, well, this is the next thing I got to do, and this is the next direction I'm going to go in, and this is what my label will let me experiment with next. And I think they saw somebody like Lady Gaga and saw how out there she was and how willing she was to share some real deep vulnerabilities that doesn't exactly paint her in the best light, and just express herself in a way that is just totally unhinged but free at the same time. And I think they saw that as like a fucking beacon, being like, yes, finally, somebody's doing it. Somebody's got the balls to go and do it. And the balls to do that and go out like this on your first album, and not just like slowly win over your A&R reps and your labels and your management and your handlers and everything, but just to be like, no, fuck it. This is me. I'm coming out and I'm sharing all this and I'm presenting it in this way. I think it paints Lady Gaga in a way that I previously did not vision her. And it just kind of adds a whole new respect to her for me. But yeah, I love it. I love it as a whole. This is great. Banger after banger after banger. It can be deep. It can be, you know, it can be metaphorically layered, but it can also just be silly and like whimsical. It can be gnarly sonically, but it can also be so sonically simple that it just like, it feels refreshing because you're like, okay, I've got a moment to catch my breath. And I think there's a good variety of all of that through all of these tracks. If you consider the Fame Monster, the Deluxe Edition, one cohesive piece of art, I think it contains all of that. And then you got Boys, Boys, Boys. I know we're not talking about that right now. Easily one of her most catchy songs. I know we're not talking about it right now. This is one of those songs, like, I don't know if I like. I think I do now, but like that song gets stuck in my head so fucking much. Anyway, I'm rambling on here. I'm gonna stop this video now so I don't make it too long. But thank you all so much for watching. Up next, we are moving on to the era of everything that is associated with this deluxe album. I've already had a few people reach out with some messages of some cool videos, some live performances, some behind the scenes stuff, a few interviews and everything. But if you on Patreon have anything that you want me to check out from this area that you think is cool, that will give me a better understanding, please, I implore you, post it in the comments of this video, send me a message, however you want to get it to me. And over the next week or two, I'm going to be putting that all together into a compilation, and we're going to experience this era of Lady Gaga and this growth we see from her as an artist, because we are at the precipice, we are at the tip of the iceberg of covering Lady Gaga. We've got a long way to go, and in order for me to truly understand and grasp the magnitude of what kind of artist this is, a lot of that falls on you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and preemptively just say thank you for sending me whatever you're going to send me, and I'll see you real soon in the next video. Bye, everybody.